Hi lovelies! I'm so happy to have you here. Welcome to my Imbolc vlog. Today I want to give you a ton of inspiration, history and ideas for your Imbolc celebration. In the spirit of the season, today's topic will be sowing seeds and all kinds of magic. We will discover a bit of traditional kitchen witchery to honor the day, do our annual planning, witch style, and since the Imbolc energies just lend themselves to a proper cottage witch clean and cleanse, I'm going to show you how to cleanse and optimize energy in your home. But let's start this day of Fright with a perfect breakfast of Imbolc pancakes. Imbolc is the feast of light, celebrating the nearing return of spring and the winter light shifting to a slightly different quality, bringing us the first spring energies. And it is also a festival that celebrated the fertility of the earth, animals, people, and one of the very traditional foods to honor the day in many European countries is the pancake. And now it doesn't really matter what type of pancake it is. Make it American, make it Dutch, make it German, thick, thin, small, little. Same difference, all taste amazing. And bonus, super easy to make. So my little kitchen witch sous chef is showing you today how to make Poppyseed-Lemon pancakes with the most delicious tangerine cream. But why pancakes, you might ask yourself? Well, there are different theories about that. Some people say that it's because of their shape and their color with their amber tones and the roundness. They kind of resemble the sun, and since this day is celebrating the return of sun and light, it would make sense. Other people say it resembles a pregnant belly, also true, and if you look into the etymology of the word Imbolc, it also means in the belly. And the theory very much linked to that is that people believed if they would eat items that are linked to fertilities like eggs, milk, butter, that would in turn bring them fertility too. Now let's look into different cultures and their traditions around the pancake and Imbolc or Candlemas. In the Normandy it's called la chandeleur, and many piles of crepes are eaten. And not only do the French eat a lot of crepe, but they also do a little bit of fortune telling while making them. And it is a tradition to hold a coin in your right hand and then with the other hand, so your weak hand, try and flip that crepe in the pan. If you succeed, you're ensuring a prosperous the rest of the year for your family. In Germany you like thin pancakes or Pfannkuchen too. And while this time of year we definitely stick more to the really fat drenched Berliner or Krapfen, we also have a little bit of divination around the pancake. We are holding a little piece of gold in the left hand, throw the pancake with the right hand, and then when we catch it again, we are going to wrap that piece of gold in that pancake and keep it on top of the kitchen shelf until the next year, where it will then be donated to the less fortunate. If you look into Ireland, Imbolc is very much the day of Saint Bridget or the goddess Bridget, standing for fertility, family, growth, spring, and of course we also cannot forget that she is supposed to be the goddess of milk, hence why people used to set out little bowls with milk around that day. And here too, pancakes are part of the celebration. We made a classic American pancake batter with buttermilk, with the little poppy seeds holding the blueprint of the colors of summer, rasping a little bit of lemon peel, and one thing that pairs extremely well with that and also goes with the ingredients of the day is obviously a very rich cream. We made ours with Quark, heavy whipping cream, just blended in a couple of tangerines and then you can sweeten it with sugar or bananas. Or if you don't have Quark where you live, you could also use something like Skyr or a very thick Greek yogurt. Super simple but so delicious. And with Imbolc being the traditional start of the rural new year, that's also my time to plan ahead. Sow the seeds of inspiration, of plans, of things that I want to do throughout the year. Or if you ever wondered how a witch might plan her year, let's have a look. Speaking of little seedlings, my son is 3 years old now, so he is at that age where he kind of understands that things come in cycles and the year goes round and round, and we have traditions that we do at certain points in the year. And I really also want to foster that excitement for nature, for the holidays on the wheel of year, for our local traditions in my kids, and all the fun stuff that comes with it. The kitchen witchery, the cottage witchery, the activities. So what did I do? I went ahead, I wrote down every month, or you can also write down every holiday on the wheel of year if this is what you celebrate, and then you just brainstorm different traditions, ideas, activities, recipes that you want to do around that time of year. And not only does that help me to stay really mindful throughout the year and to just really be in the seasonal energies and in the moment and not just let life pass by, but actually working with and enjoying what we have. It also really teaches the kids a lot about history, culture, traditions, and creates all these warm and fuzzy memories for them. That absolutely also takes the pressure away if you feel like you have to celebrate a certain holiday on a certain day, because it gives you an entire month to fill with those seasonal activities. So around Imbolc, for example, we do a house cleanse, we do a declutter. We traditionally make and bless our candles for the year. We start planting our microgreens and other things that grow well on the balcony or indoors. We declutter our closets, donate stuff. Fitting to Imbolc, we work a lot with milk products, so I want to get into yogurt making. We'll make a lot of butter. And then of course we have a couple of days where we have to do the traditional food, pancakes, Schlenkelweinnudeln, Krapfen, and here in Germany and in the south of Germany we celebrate Fasching. If you look ahead at Ostara, I have like egg coloring, gathering pussy willow, oh, Katze. Making Spanish tortillas, going for a spring walk, bringing the spring decor into the house. Basically, I really just reflect on what that part of the season or that month holds and put it on paper. And once it's all gathered there, I can then go ahead and put it in my planner according to when I have the time for it, when the weather is beneficial, when I feel in a mood. But I know it's all there and I won't forget about it. Now what else goes in my handy dandy witchy planner for a magical year? I think about what I want to have in my witchy apothecary, either for medicinal purposes or for magical purposes. Things, smoke cleansing bundles, fire cider, teas, elderberry syrup, all that jazz. And without fail, every year, I do know when these things are growing outside, but I somehow get surprised because I don't plan ahead. So this year we're doing it differently, and I really write down for each month one thing that I want to do. I think one thing a month is absolutely doable and also gives you really time to focus on that one specific plant or item or really perfect it to your wishes. And I write that into my calendar for the beginning of the month. Of course, you also know that I love my New Year's divination, and you might have seen the outcome of my adventure hero journey tarot spread earlier in the year. To have this as an overarching theme for the year, I also put this in my calendar. And before I forget, I also really want to introduce you to the calendar I'm using this year because it is so pretty. It's by Magic of Eye, and it's a vegan leather with a fancy gold trim. Is it called a trim? I don't know. Like the thingies have bling. It's lovely. There is a ton of information in here. You can put your personal birth chart in here. You have information about the different zodiacs, working with the moon and daily practice, the different retrogrades. And if you are a little green witch, there's also more about lunar gardening in here. And another thing, very aesthetically pleasing but also informative, is this little mushroom guide that I have. And then we come to the part that I'm most excited about, because you have a little intention guide where they give you a couple of keywords for each month, and then you're prompted to reflect on that in 8 areas of your life: spiritually, mentally, work, love, wealth, social, physical, and inspiration, which I feel is a great like wholesome approach to the entire thing. And if you're a big journaling fan, or even if you're just starting out to journal or to do scripting, this is a wonderful help because it lets you write down what you want, how you really envision it, basically a help to visualize it, and then it also combines the magic with the mundane here in the actionable steps that you have to write down, basically your game plan. I've used these type of calendars before because obviously I'm a huge fan of that sort of structuring of the year and really like working towards your goal but also staying mindful in the moment. But this one also just has the magic touch to it, and obviously the really cute witchy design. I also do make really cute journals that go with it. In case you want to check out Magic of Eye too, I linked it down below together with a discount code. And now that the year is planned, all the seeds of ideas and inspirations have been sown. Let's get physical. I don't know how you feel, but for me, the time around Imbolc is always a time where the weather outside is kind of like gray, somewhere between snowy and muddy, slippery, wet, ugly. All the twinkle lights outside are down, so it's kind of like depressing. However, my cottage witch brain then focuses really on the inside of the house. And Imbolc is also a fantastic time to declutter, because in the winter we have been all kind of like pent up inside, spent more time in our homes, which probably also resulted in a little bit more clutter and things building up in there. Now that we're slowly shifting towards the brighter half of the year again, it kind of feels like everything has to get a little bit lighter and brighter again. For an Imbolc activity, I'm going to go through my house and identify a couple of places that just are in need of a little bit of energetical cleansing and one day cleaning, because my house is a dumpster. What is energy? Well, that completely depends on what type of belief you're coming from. For me, energy basically is how I feel in relation to someone. For example, speaking about cottage witchcraft, if I have like a really messy, cluttered area in my house and I look at that, it's like a drain on my happiness. It drains my strength and my stamina for the day. It's an energy sucker. But let's see for yourself. Energy sucker and eyesore number 1. Let's enter my casa. Well, actually it doesn't look that bad anymore, because gripped by the righteous rage of the Imbolc spirit, I already painted over this abomination of a green wall. Insert picture here. I can't. It's also cluttered with coats. We don't want that when we come in here, because immediately the second you enter your home, it gives dump. Above it we have this like ugly heating that is annoying me anytime I want to film something from this angle, and it's like not helping the case either. For me as a cottage witch, my home is an extension of my energy field, and I do want to have it calm and nice and homey, and like you just enter and you're like, ah. I really ask myself, what do I need in a space? The entrance is kind of like the invitation into the house. It kind of sets the mood when you enter. So for me, a good hallway is kind of like already giving a little preview into what is inside. And since this is a witch's cottage, I wanted to have plants there. I wanted to have greenery there. We have a lot of wood in the house, and I just love that aesthetic. Now, usually I really find plastic plants absolutely tacky, but I wanted to cover that ugly heater, so I caved in and got some plastic plant friends that will withstand the heat, and kept the rest of the hallway just very light and friendly. And now for a little bit of magic, you know when you go into someone's house and you immediately get hit with that smell, it kind of smells like that person, you know, their home. And I'm sure mine does too. But I suddenly also want to underlayer that with a little bit of magic. So what I like to do is to just spritz a little bit of my homemade room sprays, where you then can put your own herbs and intentions in for certain energies or moods. Spritz a little bit of citrus to give it an uplifting, fresh energy. If you really want to have those cozy witch cave vibes, you might want to go for something a bit heavier or perfumed, and that kind of infuses that place with the energy that you're going for. Neat, right? And of course, with my kids, I also kind of want to sow the seed of knowledge. Am I stretching the metaphor too far? I might. So I basically tell them when I had a shit day in kindergarten, the other kids were dicks, or, you know, just something happened that kind of like rattled them, and now the energy is off, or they feel just kind of like the doom cloud hanging over them. Go home, and before you enter, you are going to leave all that negativity out of your sacred space. You're gonna ring that little wind chime that we have, and that just kind of signals the coziness that awaits you inside. Then go in your room. If the room is a mess, make sure you get some energy in, move yourself, clean that, organize it so it's really cozy, welcoming. Open the windows, because our fresh air cures almost everything. And then to call in positive energy, a warming drink, some nice music, and mommy will get her Imbolc smoke blend going. Recipe for that one you'll find over on Patreon on the day itself. Energy cleansed. But of course, there was more in my house that needed to be tackled. I smell fire. What kind of happens when you live in a house made of wood and have a million candles on at every point in the day? Seems all to be good, unless I forgot something, but I don't think so. So another corner of discontent, or well, actually, let's just call it what it is. A room of discontent is this thing here. I'm pretty happy with what I have going on here in my little filming corner, but the rest is my son's space. And I mean, his kitchen is almost messier than mine, but I have to own it, mine is actually messier than that. That child has at least as much kitchen equipment as I have. It is a sickness! And here in this inaccessible corner, the baby's bed is supposed to go. Lots of energy suckers for the kid too, because it's just too overwhelming. There are too many toys, there's too much crap, he doesn't even know what he owns. Which, again, then sucks my energy because he's constantly on top of me. Mommy, 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 can you play with me? We're going to rectify that. We're going to put like a toy organizer in here so he knows where all of his toys are and they're always there. Gonna label them with like pictures, and then it can just be like, hey, you haven't played with this and this in a while. Without him having to be like, but mom, I don't know where that is. And then the next 2 hours we have to search for it, so let's go. My first rule in cottage witchcraft: clean a space. If a space is visually messy, and I'm not saying cluttered, because cluttered can still be aesthetic and nice if you're going for that, but I'm actually saying messy. If it kind of like doesn't feel organized to you, put that shit away first. And unfortunately, usually when you clean up, you first need to make a bigger mess than it originally is. So I know that's scary, but we will do it together. Did it! Totally kidding, there's so much more crap, but yeah. Put it all the way to the side, and then you really clean the area, make it like a canvas for your creativity and all that good witch energy. Right, what else did I want to tell you? I haven't screwed so much since before the children were born. I feel that's it. I honestly feel that's it. Righty right. If you want more Imbolc inspiration and especially a ton of history, I also made another vlog last year and the year before, and the most delicious tres leches candle cake. Link, subscribe.